Hey there, this is Donna Kozik. I'm the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com and creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program. And this is the On Your Mark call for the October 2019 Write a Book in a Weekend event. So glad to have you here. And we are going to get started with giving you some keys to weekend success. I'm looking to ramp you up so you can I'm here to ramp you up so you can have a successful book writing weekend. I'm also going to briefly go over 4 winning book structures and show you a little bit about how to create your power outline. I'm actually going to cover more about that on Saturday morning during our kickoff call. We'll talk about how to get a book buddy and how to submit your entries for Title Idol. In case this is the first time you're hearing my voice, again, my name is Donna Kozik. I've been doing Write a Book in a Weekend now for 11 years, over 70 of them. I'll have to do a count to see what number this is. But I love my program. I love doing it because I love to see people become authors, whether it's for the first, second, third time or more. And here's a photo of some of my authors in the past. And I love the look of pride on their faces as they have written and published their own book. So why write a book? Why are we here? What are we doing here? So why do you want to write a book? Well, I'm all about having that book as a marketing tool for yourself and using it as a big business card. So here are some of the ways that you can use that book as a business card. You can read some of these for yourself. I'll just highlight a few of them. Of course, having your book on Amazon is huge because that is where authors are. And you'll find when you write a book and you tell people about it, they'll say, "Are you on Amazon?" And so you want to be able to say yes to that. Another thing about giving or having a book is to give it away strategically. That's what lends itself as that big business card where you can share it with people and to have them walk away with kind of your resume in their hands. But it's even better than a resume because it's a proof of your authority, author at the root of that word. Of course, you can use your book as a speaking tool to get speaking gigs. Associations, organizations are always looking for credible speakers, and having a book makes you credible. And you can use it as a starter book. So a lot of people get hung up in thinking that they have to write the book, that the book has to be the first book. But I say write a book first. Learn a little bit about the process, learn how to put your materials together, how it all works, and then publish that book. You get a book done. And then if you want to write a longer book after that or a legacy book, you can. And then finally, gifting this book to clients or prospects and also giving copies to family and friends never gets old. So this is something, again, that proves that you know what you're talking about. So if you ever had those arguments over the dinner table with holiday dinner table with some of your family members, you can gift them a copy of your book. You'll say, "See, I know what I'm talking about." Now, why books don't get done, I'm just going to spend a moment on this. And the reason books don't get done is people say, "Well, I don't have the time." And the reason you say you don't have the time is because you have not made a priority. Because, of course, those things that we make a priority, we find the time to do, right? If you make it a priority, you find the time to do it. So that's what this weekend gives you, is a chance to make the book writing a priority. Also, many times people take on too much. They're looking to write the book instead of a book. As I mentioned, you want to scale that down and just get one published. And then also unsure of the process. Where do I start? What do I put in my introduction? What do I write about? How do I structure it? How do I publish it? How do I promote it? So all those questions can really hold you back. They kind of tire you out, right? And instead, I will walk you through step by step the whole process. So you're on a need-to-know basis. And I will share with you what you need to know as we go along, so you can make the book writing a priority for yourself. We're going to make it doable for you. And you stay plugged in the process with me this weekend, and you will get it done. I want to talk briefly about what kind of author are you. I've identified 3 different types of authors who generally I work with and who find themselves, sorry, I got a cat here walking around on my keyboard, who take my weekend. And the first is that author who's looking to have a marketing tool and use that book as a big business card. Really, it is that universal symbol of authority and credibility and expertise that you can have with you and nobody can take away from you, meaning it will be always something associated with your name. Celebrity authors, people who already have a large following, maybe on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. This is another way that you can connect with them, another product or service actually that you can provide and for them. And then honor the author within. Those are for people who are like, I just want to have a book. I just want to say that I did it. And even if that box of books stays in your closet, the fact is that you did it. So those are generally the three different types of categories of authors that take Write a Book in a Weekend. And well, if I was doing this live, I'd ask you for questions, but I had some technical difficulties. So if you're in my Business Authors Association, you have a question about this, you can just post it in the Facebook group, our Business Authors Association. I'll be happy to answer it. If you are not in the Business Authors Association, go ahead and join that group. I will approve your membership and then I will answer your question. Next, I want to talk about creating your vision. The Reverend Michael Beckwith has a saying that the pain pushes us until the vision pulls us. We already know about the pain. I don't know the process. I take on too much. I haven't made a priority. So instead, we want to create a vision about how are you making this a priority and why do you want to write a book? And so what you want to do is create a vision statement. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds now just to jot down some of the reasons why you want to write a book and what it will feel like when you're holding your own book in your hands. I want you to picture the moment that you do open the box and take out a copy of your book and you're actually physically holding it in your hands. How do you feel? And who's the first person who is going to get a copy of that book? And do you have your phone ready to take a selfie and put it on social media? So write for yourself what it will mean to you of holding that own book in your hands and how you will feel about that. I'll give you about 30 seconds right now to do that. I'm going to take a sip of tea. Writing your vision statement. What will it feel like? All right, of course, this is something that you can come back to. It's kind of like a work in progress. Next up, we're going to talk about creating your reader avatar. Who is your imaginary friend for this journey? In other words, who are you writing to? And many times in business, we kind of get lost in trying to describe target audiences and psychographics and demographics and all of that. The world of book writing is much simpler, where we are just thinking about one person that we're writing to, because that is who will be reading your book. And I don't mean one person will be reading your book, but I mean thousands of people are reading it one person at a time. So the best way to strike a conversational tone in your book is to picture this one person, your reader avatar. And this is someone who is eager to read your book. They have questions about it, or they're looking for some inspiration and some motivation in your area of expertise. So I want you to think about this person, what you'll be telling them, and carry an image of them throughout the weekend, and that will help you write to them. And again, by writing to this one person, you are writing to thousands and making a connection with thousands of potential or future readers of yours. So who's your imaginary friend? Is it or your reader avatar? Is it a man or a woman? Are they married? Are they single? Where do they live? What do they like to do in their spare time? Also, what keeps them up at night? What's the first problem they think about when they wake up in the morning? How can you help them? What can you do for them? All right, what can you provide for them? So just take again 30 seconds now and jot down some characteristics of your reader avatar. I think the most important question there is how can you solve a problem for them, or what problem can you solve for them? But think from their perspective. Who are you writing to? All right, next up, I'm going to talk about picking your book structure. Of course, you can go back to your reader avatar description anytime you wish. And I'm going to go over briefly 4 different book structures that work well with Write a Book in a Weekend. I have templates for each of these, and then also formulas for creating content for each of these. And the first one is it's a duo. You could say a how-to or a self-help book. So this is many times what we refer to as a list title, like 7 ways to do this or 5 hints for that or something like that. And if you are used to giving step-by-step instructions, then this is a perfect type of book for you to write in a weekend because it's easy for you. Chapter 1, here's your first step in creating your 1-page marketing plan. Or chapter 2, here is how you can create more confidence in your life. So of course, those are 2 different books I'm talking about there. But the point being that you take each chapter and describe fully a certain step in a process that you want to share. So that's a how-to or a self-help book. My second type of book structure is a quote book plus. This is a collection of inspirational quotes, and then you have a really thorough introduction to this book that talks a little bit more about who you are and what your place is in this world. In fact, all these book structures that I'll be mentioning, I want you to have a really strong introduction, and we're going to focus on that during the first part of Write a Book on a Weekend on Saturday. So you have a strong introduction if you're doing a how-to or self-help book, a strong introduction for a quote book plus. And then the third type of book structure is a personal memoir. And this is if you've been collecting all kinds of stories, or people, family members have said, oh, you should write a book someday, or you're so funny, the way you tell that story about the time we had to de-thaw 5 turkeys in the bathtub that one Thanksgiving. So if you have a bunch of stories like that you'd like to collect in a personal memoir, you can do that. And then my fourth type of book structure is case study. It's another form of storytelling, but it's more business oriented, where you're sharing stories about your clients and how they accomplish things. That's a really good book to do if you've been in business for a while, you have a lot of stories of successful clients, let them do the talking for you, right, in your book. Again, though, all 4 of these books, How to Self-Help, Quote Book Plus, Personal Memoir, and Case Study, will have a strong introduction. Next up, I'm going to talk about how you can get a book buddy for the weekend. This is a kind of an added bonus that we do during the weekend. So you have a touchstone, a person that you can connect with during the weekend. This isn't to do editing work for you or anything like that, but rather, text each other. Hey, are you up? Are you writing? How's it going? How many words have you gotten done during our study hall? Something like that. Always like I make the comparison, Woody in Toy Story, I think it was Toy Story 1 said, does everybody have their moving buddy? But Woody was everybody's moving buddy. And so I am everybody's book buddy during the weekend, being your leader for Write a Book in a Weekend. However, you can have that person that you touch base with. This is voluntary of what you can do, but it's kind of nice because when you go to a live event, sometimes you get in some conversations or do some networking over the coffee cart or something like that, and this gives you an opportunity to do that. So if you'd like a book buddy this weekend, all you have to do is send an email to buddy@mybigbusinesscard.com, buddy@mybigbusinesscard.com. Inside the email, try to make this a little bit brighter to see. Inside the email, you can list 5 things for me, please. Yeah, that helps. You can list 5 things for me, please, inside the email. Number 1, your full name. Number 2, your email address. Number 3, your time zone. Number 4, what you're looking for in a book buddy. And number 5, what you have to offer a book buddy. All right, number 1, your full name. Number 2, your email address. Number 3, your time zone. Number 4, qualities that you're looking for in a book buddy. And number 5, qualities you have to offer a book buddy. Please get those to me by Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Then also we're playing Title Idol. This weekend we're doing things a little bit differently. We're actually going to play Title Idol on Thursday after the weekend, because during the weekend we're going to be focusing on writing. So throughout the weekend, as you're writing your book, I want you to keep a file open, an email open, and just kind of write down or capture your title ideas in that email. Then on Tuesday, you can just send that off to me, and we will play Title Idol on Thursday of next week, and we will see if your titles are hot or not. So I'll send you a couple of reminders during the weekend, but just right now, know that you're going to be sending that to title@mybigbusinesscard.com, and the deadline for that is Tuesday at 5 p.m. Finally, I'm going to go over the weekend schedule a little bit. And the schedule starts off with the On Your Mark call. That's what this call is. Then on Saturday, we have our kickoff call at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That's 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to get started in writing your introduction. After I go over the formula for your introduction, then we're going to have a writing party immediately after, a type of study hall. We're all going to get together on Zoom. I'll have a few words of inspiration there, but then the whole idea is to spend 30 minutes to an hour actually writing your introduction. So I know how it is. Like sometimes you end a webinar, you get off a call and you're like, let's go see what's on TV. So this instead is like, you're going to go right into writing and get into that habit. Then at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, the rest of the best. That's where I'll be going over more specifically some of those book writing formulas that I talked about with the how-to, the case study book, personal memoir, and the quote book plus. Give you some direction and guidance in structuring those for yourself. And then we're going to have another writing party directly after that. Then on Sunday, we're going to start the day with a writing party at 8 a.m. Pacific time. That is 11 a.m. Eastern. And then at 1 o'clock Pacific, we're going to talk about creating front matter for your book. That's your call to action, your acknowledgments, your dedication, table of contents, all those kinds of things. So you can see how during the weekend, everything's going to come together. First, we're going to focus on your introduction, then we're going to focus on your content, and then we're going to talk about your front matter. We'll have another writing party directly after that, so you can work on it and ask me questions. And then I'll probably have a wrap-up call. Actually, I didn't list it here, but I'll have a type of wrap-up call on Sunday. And then on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be playing Title Idol, and also I'll be giving you the steps to publishing, because at that point, you will have something to publish. I'm sorry, my cat Piper is rambunctious right now, and so if you hear noise in the background, that's what it is. Right now he's leaning against my arm, but I do not need it to talk. So I guess that's okay. All right, finally, this is a couple of little things that are different. In addition to the writing parties, I'm actually working on my traditional book proposal. I'm looking to be picked up by an agent. I have a couple of agents interested in seeing what I have to say about write a book in a weekend. So I am giving people who are participating this weekend, I'm actually a request. If you would share your insights, your ahas, your gems with me during the weekend, or I'll have a form that you can fill out that I can use in my book proposal, so I can give some insight into what my weekend students gain, what kind of ahas and insights they gained over the weekend, because I'm really looking, I'd love to be picked up by Penguin, Random House, HarperCollins, all those traditional book publishers, and of course it takes an agent to do that too. So I'm looking to really write a robust book proposal. I'll tell you more about that during the weekend itself, and share with how you can share with me your gems and your ahas. And I'm going to end up with 3 keys here to weekend success. Key number 1, keep it short and powerful. You're not writing War and Peace in a weekend. You're writing a short and powerful book. One, through the magic of formatting, that we could probably get to 100 pages, whether it's a quote book plus or a simple how-to book. I have different techniques that you can use to boost your word count and get that page count up as well. But we're looking for about 100 pages, and I'll give you some techniques for doing that. Key number 2, put your editor in the back seat. We don't need them right now, maybe during the revision process, but right now it's all about creating content and creating those popcorn drafts, or which is what I call your first draft. So don't let your editor drive the bus there, but instead you create content, put the editor in the back seat, we'll call them later. And key number 3, stay engaged in the process. Please open my emails for starters. Show up to as many calls and writing parties as you can, and then stay active in our Facebook group. And I'll tell you what, if you do all this, I have every intention and every confidence that you can actually write a book in a weekend. Until then, this is Donna Kozik. Until our kickoff call, I would be happy to answer your questions in our Facebook group, and I'll give you other means to do that as well if you are a registered participant of Write a Book in a Weekend. If you are not, you can go to writewithdonna.com, and join up in our next weekend event, or this one. We'd love to have you. Again, until then, this is Donna Kozik. I'm the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com, creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program and our sister program, Done For You Publishing. I look forward to seeing you in the bookstore.